Hello coders, in the last video we have discussed drop_na method to drop null values from a pandas data frame. In this video we are going to discuss fillna method of pandas data frame. Fillna method fills nan, also called as the missing values, using specified method that you can see over here. Fillna fills nan values, also called as missing values, using specified method. Here you can see syntax of fillna. DataFrame.fillna. It contains 6 parameters: value, method, axis, in place, limit and downcast. That you can see these all the parameters are set with some default values that you can see over here. Now let me first discuss first parameter, value. By default value is none. So now here you can see it is a value that is used to fill null values. As a value we can pass scalar, means one value. Also we can pass Python dictionary, pandas series or pandas data frame. So now to explain you this value parameter practically, let me first import pandas as pd. Shift enter to execute this cell. So now let me read our dataset using pd read underscore csv. I am using data underscore m.csv. This dataset I have created just to explain you the concept of handling missing values in pandas. That you can download it from my GitHub account. Link is given in the description of this video. So now let me check our data frame first. That you can see over here. So now here you can see I have created many missing values. These all the missing values are interpreted as NaN values by pandas. While we are reading this CSV file using read underscore CSV, pandas automatically interpreted these missing values as NaN values that you can see over here. Now to explain you this each and every parameter practically, here I have mentioned some question. Now let me solve it one by one. So now first question, fill all NA values with zeros. So now let me check first our data frame that you can see over here. Here are some null values that you can see over here. So now let me use fill NA, and here I am going to pass this scalar value inside fill NA method. So let I pass 0 as a scalar value. Now you can see all the missing values are replaced with 0 that you can see over here. Even this grades column which contains some string AA, AB, which is also replaced with 0. So now in place of this also we can pass some values that you can see over here, 111. So now all the missing values are replaced with 111. Now next, fill all NaN values with min values. So now let me load our another dataset. Again that you can download it from my GitHub account. Link is given in the description of this video. Data underscore new.csv. So now let me first check our dataset that you can see over here. It contains city and temperature. So now the question is fill all NaN values or missing values with min values. So now data dot fill NA. Here I am passing data dot min. Now here you can see data dot min. It will find the average of each and every columns which are of integer or floating point type and fill the missing values with average value that you can see over here. It fills all the missing values with average value that you can see over here. These values are missing. Now it filled with average value of this column. Now next question, fill all NaN elements in columns marks and grades with 97 and AA respectively. So now let me first read our dataset pd read underscore csv. So now data dot fill NA. Here we have to pass Python dictionary key as a column name, marks colon value 97, column name as a key, grades colon AA. Now you can see over here marks column missing values are replaced with 97 and grades column values are replaced with AA that you can see over here, AA. Now next question, propagate non-null values in forward direction. So now for that we require the help of another parameter which is called as method, that you can see over here. By default value of method is none. So method is used for filling holes using pad, or also we can use ffill, which is propagate last valid observation in forward direction to the next. Also we can remember this by top to bottom. It propagate the value from top to bottom. Also we can pass backfill or bfill, use next valid observation to fill gap or to fill missing values. Just to remember this, here I have mentioned we have to pass the values from bottom to top. Now let I explain you first pad or ffill, which propagate last valid observation in forward direction, means from top to bottom. Please remember, from top to bottom. So now let me load our data set pd read underscore csv and data underscore new dot csv. Now let me print our data set which contains city and temperature. Data dot fill na. Now here we have to write method is equal to, so let I first pass pad. So now here you can see when I execute this, so before that let I open our data set. Here you can see, now let I execute this cell, shift enter. Now you can see over here these values are filled from here to here, from here to here, from here to here in forward direction, that you can see over here, here to here, here to here, in the forward direction from here to here. In place of pad also we can write ffill, which is forward fill. So now let I replace this pad with ffill. Now let I execute this cell. Now you can see over here in our data set these values are filled in forward direction, 34 over here, these 34 over here and 40 over here in forward direction because of this ffill. So in place of ffill, as I said, we can also use pad. Both are same. Now let me discuss backfill, backward fill. Use next value observation to fill gap. Just to remember this, value from bottom to top. Here is the question. Propagate non-null values in backward direction. So propagate non-null values backward direction. So for that we have to use either backfill or bfill, which use next valid observation to fill gap. As I said, just to remember, from bottom to top. So now let me use same data set that you can see over here. So data dot fill na, and here I am using method is equal to, we can use backfill. Now let I execute this cell. Now you can see over here, let I open our data set. So here it filled these values from bottom to top in backward direction, that you can see over here, from backward direction. This replaced it over here, this to this. Likewise you can see over here it is replaced this with this, this with this in backward direction, which is called as a backfill. In place of this backfill also we can write bfill. Let I replace this backfill with bfill. Now let I execute this cell once again, that you can see over here these values are filled from bottom to top, from bottom to top. Here you can see from bottom to top, this 40 over here, this 40 over here, then this 40 over here, that you can see over here from bottom to top, which is called as a backward fill in backward direction. And ffill means forward direction from top to bottom. Let me discuss next parameter of fill na, axis, which is very well known. Axis takes integer or string values for rows or for columns. So input can be 0 or index. If you want to fill row wise, then input can be 0 or index. If you want to fill column wise, then input can be 1 or columns. So here you can see the axis. So now let me load our data set. So pd read underscore csv. again data underscore new dot csv. So now let me check our data set that you can see over here. Now let me pass the axis in fill NA. I am using method ffill and axis is equal to 0. So axis is equal to 0, in we can pass 0 to fill value row wise. Also in place of this we can write index. So now let we open our data set. Now let I execute this cell. So now here you can see axis is equal to 0 means it fill row wise. So now here you can see it is the forward fill. So it is replace this over here. Then this to this to this in forward direction, and this to this row wise, because here is ffill which is forward fill and row wise like this row wise. So now let I replace axis with, here you can see with 1, here we can write 1, or also we can write columns. Now here you can see method is forward fill, but here axis is columns, so it will fill values column wise. Just to remember, it is from left to right. Here you can see it will this to this, that you can see over here. It will fill this to this column wise. Now here this to this, so it will fill the values, just to remember, from left to right. So here we can use the axis as per our requirement. If you want to fill the missing values from top to bottom like this, or from column wise, so accordingly we can pass here 0 or index, 1 or columns. So now please remember this, here method is equal to forward filled and axis is equal to columns. So that's why it fill the values from left to right, that you can see over here, from left to right, from left to right. It will fill the missing values from left to right likewise. Now what will happen if I change this method from forward fill to bfill, backward fill? So now let me check this. Let me convert this fill to backward fill, and also let me start with axis 0, fill the missing values row wise, and also I am going to use this data set, this one. So now let I execute this cell. So as you can see over here, this is the bfill, backward fill. This is the backward fill and axis is equal to 0, means fill the values row wise, that you can see over here. Here value is missing. It will fill in backward direction from bottom to top. Here you can see value is missing, so it will fill from bottom to top. Now here you can see from bottom to top. So now let me change this axis to 1. Also we can write columns to fill missing values column wise. Now let I execute this cell. So now please concentrate over here. Now we are using method backward fill and axis is equal to columns. So now here you can see this value is missing, so it will fill in backward direction, that you can see over here, from this, from right to left. Please remember this. Now it will fill the value from right to left. Now you can see this value is missing. It will keep it as it is, because here is no column to fill this missing value from right to left. Same over here, here is no column to fill the missing value from right to left. So now here is also value is missing, but it can fill like right to left, that you can see over here. So please remember, while we are using backward fill, and if axis is equal to 0, we have to fill the values from bottom to top, and if axis is equal to 1 means column wise. If you want to fill missing values column wise, that means right to left, because here backward fill and axis is equal to columns. So please remember which method you are using, either ffill or bfill, and also please remember, check the axis 0 or 1. So now let me discuss another parameter, which is in place. Again, it is very well known, right? When we write in place is equal to true, so here you can see the data. Also, I have created separate video to explain the concept of in place, that you can find in the playlist of Pandas tutorial. So in fill NA, if we write in place is equal to true. By default, in place is equal to false. If we write in place is equal to true, it will modify the existing data frame, means it will modify this existing data set permanently. If we write in place is equal to false, in place is equal to false, it will not modify the existing data set, but it will create the new object with performed operation. Now let me discuss the another parameter, which is limit. Limit, in that we can pass the integer value. By default value is none. So please remember, if method is specified, this is the maximum number of consecutive NaN values to fill in forward direction or in backward direction. Please remember, limit value must be greater than 0, if not none. So now let me check our data set. So here is the question, fill the first NaN element, only first NaN element or only first NaN values. So here you can see there are two missing values, but it will fill just first missing value, not this 2, because I am going to pass limit is equal to 1. So fill NA, let I use the method forward fill and limit is equal to 1. Let I execute this cell. Now here you can see it fill only first NaN values that you can see in our data set. You can see it fill this value only. So here is only one missing value. So it will consider limit is equal to 1 and it filled with 40. But here it just filled only one missing value because here our limit is 1. So now if I write limit is equal to 2, then it will fill the two missing values. Here you can see it filled this and also this one. This way we can use the limit parameter. So now let me discuss our final parameter of fill NA, downcast. So it is not widely used in a data science or machine learning, but mostly while teaching learning we skip this parameter. But now let me discuss with very simple example. So downcast, it takes a dictionary or string. Here we have to pass infer. As a downcast, always please remember, as a downcast always we have to pass infer, which specified what data type to downcast to which one. If we want to convert float to integer, so it will perform or it will downcast our floating point values to integer values. To explain you this downcast concept, let me create very simple data frame. So pd data frame, here I am using Python dictionary with value 1 and another value is none. Now here you can see our data frame, only one column with two values 1.0 and NaN. So now let me downcast it. So if we want to downcast it, so here you can see this is floating point number. So now if we want to downcast it to integer, then we can write df1 is equal to df dot fill NA. Let I pass scalar value and here downcast to infer. Now let me check our data frame that you can see over here. Now it is downcasted to integer values. Same we can do with Python dictionary as well. So df2 dot df dot fill NA. Here we can pass Python dictionary. So convert A to 0 and downcast to infer. Now let me check our data frame. Now you can see over here in this both the examples, the columns are downcasted to integer instead of float, that you can see over here. Initial value is floating point number. Actually we downcasted it to integer. This is the use of downcast. Still if you have any doubt, please write in the comment section below. Thank you for watching.